You know, there have been so many major movements in American music, but before punk, before disco, before rock and roll, even before Debbie Boone, there was a pure kind of American music known as bluegrass. Now we're going to have a toe-tapping, tobacco-chawing kind of hoedown at the old Fiddlers convention. You know, in 6th grade orchestra, I played the cello, but toe-tapping was discouraged and all forms of chawing were strictly forbidden. They put their bows to the strings in the spirit of thousands who came before. When fiddlers from far and wide, young and old, strike up an old-time tune, the stage is set for a musical celebration like no other.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for a treat. Bluegrass music's the way it's supposed to be. No amplification necessary. And it's finger-picking good.
The 60th annual Old Fiddlers Convention in Galax, Virginia, is a haven for both old-time and bluegrass musicians. Back in 1935, the event was dedicated to keeping alive the memories and sentiments of days gone by, and that's what you hear wherever you turn. They sing the songs handed down for generations about folk heroes and lost loves, and they back it up with picking and strumming that most have learned by ear. Former world champion banjo picker Roger Sprung has been coming to Galax for 30 years, and he says being here makes all the difference.
Because if you come here and you're starting to play, it's osmosis. It goes deep into the skin, you know, and you just have to walk around and you go home and you play better.
The convention is known for its round-the-clock jam sessions where a novice musician can always find someone to watch and listen to. Getting the notes down is one thing, but finding a style to copy really helps when you're starting out. Galax veteran Tina Lisa Jones says joining in is a must.
Old time is a lot easier to break into than bluegrass, rule number one. And a large jam is perfectly easy to break into because the four guys in the center, they may be sitting there hunched over. This is old time I'm talking about. You hunched over and then another echelon of banjo players behind them, and you could join them and should.
For me, where the soul of man never dies.
Singing is a big part of bluegrass, which makes the bluegrass jam a lot harder to break into. Even if you don't play an instrument, you can take part in the jam on the wooden boards scattered around the grounds. Galax is known for flat-foot dancing, a freestyle expression of the music where you become a part of the percussion and rhythm.
Basically, I just get behind somebody and pick up a step from them, and I have a knee that likes to fly up from under me, and I just make up a step and keep going.
For one family, joining in is a way to tap into family history.
My husband is a native of Franklin County, where bluegrass is really big. I'm originally from Northern Virginia, so I'd never even heard of bluegrass when I met him. And it's really part of his heritage, and I wanted my children to understand that part of their lives, and they weren't getting it from me, and coming here was an opportunity for them to see the roots of their dad.
There are as many styles as there are musicians. Some are dedicated to the traditional tunes of the British Isles that are the basis of old-time music. Others prefer the more modern bluegrass, which was popularized by Kentucky native Bill Monroe in the early 1940s.
Chicken train!
For others, the thump of a wash tub, stick, and string are all that's needed to set the feet a-tapping.
Chicken train, run all day, can't get on, can't get on. Chicken train, take the chickens away.
Or the jump of an old-time country reel could be the spark that keeps musicians going all day long.
And if you listen close, you'll get in the mood of feeling of whatever someone playing is trying to tell you. Music itself is sounds or feelings put to pleasant sounds. Now, all of it may not be pleasant, but we think it's music.
this picker, the experience of being heard is worth the trip.
I like it when they come out and listen to you jamming, you know, and it kind of makes you really get into it. You feel it. And the feel of the music, too, is, it kind of makes my blood boil, you know. It makes you just get the spine tingling, and you just want to really, I want to come back again from now on, you know. I want to stay here forever.
Convention Week welcomes a swarm of traffic downtown, with music at every turn. One gathering spot for visiting pickers is Bar's Fiddle Shop, where they can check out the merchandise or jump into a jam in the back of the store. That's where we found Joe Wilson from the National Council for the Traditional Arts.
Well, this is a very historic town and a very historic music. The African banjo and the European violin came together on the Virginia Piedmont, was transferred here in colonial time. Those instruments were transferred to white hands here. So this is a place where any popular American music comes back to. It's the root of American popular culture. If you want to know the beginnings of rock and roll, here. If you want to know the beginnings of jazz, here. If you want to know the beginnings of all country music, all forms of it, here. From colonial times until now, this has been a very historic place in music.
With music a part of these mountains for over 2 centuries and a town that proclaims itself the world's capital of old-time music, it's no wonder that the Loyal Order of Moose Lodge number 733 can fill 20 acres with music makers every year and attract 35,000 for the showdown. The line behind the stage stretches a quarter mile with 225 bluegrass and old-time bands in competition.
That old rain is cold and so cold.
Last-minute rehearsals are underway, and the bands are glad to be a part of it all.
We're Solid State, and we're from Virginia, Covington, Virginia, and glad to be here. This is Junior. He ain't all there, but we brought him along anyway.
Yeah, we're the Country Hicks from a little town called Buchanan, just out of Roanoke, and we've been playing about 30 years together. We've been coming here for the last 4 years and really enjoying it.
Creek Ramblers, Drifters actually, and we're from all over, Roanoke, Greenville, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Covington, Virginia, Salem, yeah, all over.
The instruments and voices of this all-woman band blend to create a sound that's old and true, just like the friendships that are forged along the way.
Most of us are amateur performers, and it's just real unique, and the fact that we all camp together and work together all week on what we're going to do, and we come up and we just basically go through all of this and get our camp money back, and so it's kind of free, so it's a lot of fun.
A man never dies. Dear friends, now be no sad farewell. There'll be no tear dim eyes. Where all is peace and
Family bands are all important here in Galax. The young learn the music of their parents and make sure that old time and bluegrass will never die. The competition draws an audience of thousands, primed and ready for a night of diverse entertainment, and that's just what it delivers.
If they ask you, was I laughing? If they ask you, was I laughing?
The action on stage goes on into the night, and the tribute to the past continues in the campground with musicians playing old-time tunes. It's their love of the music that will keep it alive, and their passion for playing that will keep them at it all through the night and for many years to come. We'll be back after this with more Amazing America.